What is going on, guys? My name is Pone, and I'm sure you're asking yourself, what is Titanfall? I'm sure many of you guys already know with the hype train behind the game, but I want to kind of give you guys a fair, honest review and impression about the game. And that's what the purpose of this video is, to give you a little bit of the basics to let you know whether or not it is worth your money, and I'll give it my honest overall rating too. So, without further ado, let's hop right into the game. So, Titanfall is a first-person multiplayer shooter. It was published by EA Electronic Arts, and it was developed by Respawn Entertainment, the guys that brought us Call of Duty 4 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Titanfall was created on the Source engine. It's available on the PC, Xbox One, and soon-to-be Xbox 360 platforms. Now, the very unique thing about this game is that there are pilots and titans. Pilots are the characters that you play as. The guy I am right now running around with my gun, shooting the pew-pews, having the fun. You can parkour around the map, hell, jump kick somebody in the face if you want to. It's your standard soldier, if you will. The other aspect is the titans. Now, this is where things get a little complicated. Every few minutes or even sooner, you can summon a titan. It drops in from the sky. You can either get inside it and choose to wield the titan, shoot it, and play as it. You can have it follow you along and protect you and guide you, or you could even station it somewhere and defend a certain location. Now, how often you summon these mechanical angels is completely up to you and how well you're playing. You can farm on grunts, minions, and specters. You can kill other players, and these things basically drop off time on your countdown. You can see in the bottom right corner right now, I've got roughly about a minute until I can call in my Titan. If I kill something, it cuts off a few seconds, so on and so forth. And the more you do, the better you play, the quicker you get yours. The quicker you have yours can completely change the pace of the game. Now, in the game, there are 3 available Titans for you guys to choose and customize how you will. You have the well-rounded Atlas, the tanky Ogre, and the fast Strider. Now, just looking at these things, you can see what they were intended for. The Strider, perfect example. Skinny little thing, you know it's going to take a lot of damage when it's hit, but it's also going to be able to move about a lot faster than the rest of them. So, you take what you get. The tank, the Ogre, modeled after my mother-in-law. Hard to kill, extremely big and stubborn. It happens! I'm just kidding. I love you, Mom. But that's just one of those things. You look at them, you build them how you want, you customize them to their strengths. Now, the customization for the pilots and the Titans are pretty much damn near the same thing. Both of which have ordnances, which are explosions. For the pilots, for example, would be grenades. For the Titans would be like the rocket salvo, which just shoots just a wave full of rockets at things. And those go on cooldown. Now, on top of that, they also have tactical abilities. Example for a pilot would be cloaking, which is exactly what you're seeing on your screen. Or, for the Titan, it would be something like the Vortex Shield, where you can put up a shield, absorb all incoming projectiles, and shoot them back at the enemy. On top of that, you can also build up your kit. There are 2 tiers of possible perks that you can set up for your Titans and your pilots. For example, I am running the Explosives pack. It allows me to carry 1 extra ordnance, which would be an extra grenade, and that's very, very useful for me. On top of that, the Titan could have something like the nuclear ejection, which is exactly what it sounds like, which you just saw to the right of your screen, and that is when you are killed, you evacuate your Titan, it goes nuclear. It blows up and it hurts and damages anything in the vicinity. So these are things that you need to take into consideration. Both of them are equally customizable and very, very important. The only real difference between the Titans and the pilots is the pilots have 2 additional things at their disposal. They have a sidearm if need be, which is understandable. And they also have an anti-Titan weapon, which could be anything from shooting grenades to lock-on rockets. And obviously, as being a pilot, easy to be stepped on or, you know, taken out by any of the Titans, you need something to defend yourself from them when you don't actually have your Titan to help you. Now, in the menus, you have the availability to choose between Classic and Campaign. Yes, there is no campaign. I know, many people are like, what? This is multiplayer only? I didn't know there's not campaign. There's no single player. It's basically multiplayer, but they kind of try to add a tiny little backstory or something to it. I don't know what they were doing with it. It makes no sense to me. It doesn't even need to be in the game. It sounded like wasted resources to me. But you do need to do them because it's how you unlock the Strider and the Ogre chassis. But either way, you go into it, you have 9 maps that you have to play. It'll vary between hardpoint, attrition, whatever. And you just play those out. Completing all 9 of them for one side, either the IMC or the Militia, will unlock you the Strider. And when you do it for the other 9, the back 9, you unlock the Ogre. So, sadly, there's no real campaign or single player, but, I mean, they did something. I don't know what that thing was, but it was a thing, and they tried, and it was stupid. So stupid that I'm expecting IGN to say it's the most immersive campaign ever and rated an 11 out of 10. Yeah, I went there. But after you complete that, you can go into the Classic, where you find your traditional multiplayer game types. Now, they have Attrition, Last Titan Standing, Hardpoint Domination, Capture the Flag, and Pilot Hunter. Now, attrition is very much like team deathmatch, except for there's a score that you have to build up. Kills build towards it, lots of objectives build toward it. But with this objective game type, you have to pay attention to things called minions. These are specters or grunts that are randomly located on the map, coming in waves. And you can farm up on these things. That's right, Titanfall Farm Simulator. What you do is you kill these things. They're not really a threat to you. It's kind of embarrassing when you get killed by them. It does happen, but you shrug it off. These things really don't fight back. They're there for you to farm up on. Now, when you kill these things, it knocks off time for you to build up your Titan. It just cuts off a lot of time. You do it right, you can really farm these things and get quick releases on your Titan. On top of that, they also build up attrition points in the attrition game type. So it helps you win when you kill these things. But outside of attrition, they're not really that important. I generally tend to ignore them. Now, on their journey of creating this kind of implementing single-player aspects to the game, they also added things they call burn cards, which are kind of like power-ups that you can equip to your player at the start of a life. Now, you can carry up to 3 of these into every game, and you should use all 3 of them in every game. Now, you can get things like the amped so-and-so, which is just an amplified, stronger version of a random set weapon. These cards are earned randomly by doing things inside of the game. Some of them can give you additional EXP boosts, so on and so forth. Most of them generally, if not all of them, actually only last for that life, so make them count and play smart when you equip them, because it's such a pain in the arse when you get killed when you equip the damn things. And last but not least, another thing that is carried over from the Call of Duty experience are things that they call generations or regeneration. Now, what happens is the level cap is 50. Every time you hit 50, you have the ability to, what you would know is prestige. You can go in to the next level and you'll be like level 2 and you start all over with all new equipment and you have to do that grind again. Now, the difference between Call of Duty and Titanfall is that you get an additional experience when you do this. So, like if I'm on tier 2, or I guess generation 2, I get 110% EXP, 120 for 3, 130, and then it starts scaling higher, 150, 180, 210, 250, 290, 350. So as you go, it becomes a little quicker and easier, so it's not as hard of a grind every time, but all the other assignments reset, the challenges reset, and some of them actually have specific challenges that you have to complete before you can go on to the next generation 2, from what I'm told. So it's not too special, no new custom classes involved or anything like that, but it's a cool feature. Now, how about how I feel with the game? I love the game. The game is fun for me. That's not something I can say about other games. I love Battlefield. I absolutely love Battlefield. But it's not like raw fun for me. I play that game because I want to whip ass and I want to play competitively and I want to be a team player. I play Titanfall because I want to have fun and scissor kick people and jump in Titans and step on things and just move about and be mobile. It's a great casual fun game, and a lot of people are asking me, Pone, do you think you should buy it? I think it's worth your money. I think worst case scenario with this game is it dies out in 3 or 4 months, which I don't see happening because of the hype and the backing and the fact that it's going to have DLC and stuff. But at the same time, I think the game is worth your money because you'll get that fun aspect out of it, and it's a great game. Anyone that says this game is bad is basically just butthurt because it's not on the PlayStation 4 or because they're just naturally haters. But honestly, what every video game purchase comes down to is whether or not you're going to get your money worth it. I think you do with Titanfall. After playing the game, putting probably 12, 14 hours into it already, I love it. I enjoy it, and I would recommend it to my friends and family. And truth be told, if you don't want to pay 60 bucks for it, there's a link down below. There's a nice little website that cuts you 15 bucks off the price of this thing. That's right, $45 instead of 60. That's that much more attractive. So, I want to talk about what I rate this game overall. I'd give this game a happy 8 to 8.5. Now, though I'm not a single-player person, I really would have appreciated a real, true single-player campaign, or even a multiplayer campaign, to kind of give you a story, where the Titans came from, what's the state of the world, how this all happened, and the fact that it's the very first game, I would have thought that would have been an essential part of the game to kind of let people know where it's coming from. But, you know, it's still a great game. Multiplayer is what I go for anyway, so it really doesn't affect me, but I understand the sell value behind that. A lot of people like to play. Some people just play the campaign before they play the multiplayer because they want to know what's going on in it and experience the guns before they just get thrust into the multiplayer. On top of that, I would have loved to have seen more customization from them. They have limited weapons, they have lots of maps, 15 or 16 available on launch, and I would just like to see camo, some rewards in-game outside of just the Titans. I would like to see like gun camos, Titan camos. I think they could have done more with some of the characteristics and customizations of the game. But in the end, the way it plays, it's such a freaking smooth game. It plays so great. And I definitely would recommend you guys to add this to your library. I bought it, I own it for both PC and Xbox One. Can't wait to share some more with you guys. I want to remind you guys to subscribe. I got gun reviews coming for you guys to teach you a little bit about the attachments, so on and so forth, and lots of great footage coming your way. And I'd honestly appreciate a little bit of feedback on the video, and above all, a nice little like rating would help me out. A lot of time went into creating this episode, and I'd appreciate the support, guys. Stay moist.